Hey there gang, Kawaii50 here with another Fate Grand Order video, and yes, we are still talking about the Rio Servants. It is time to talk about the 4-star servants, I guess you could use the plural. We're gonna go with the plural, and this is a character that I really wish I would have been able to pull, but sadly my tickets just have not been in the right place, because I think they're both really neat. We are, of course, talking about Daikokuten. We are going over Dai's best allies, craft essences, and command codes, so you can make this Pizza Rat, and yes, they would definitely be the Pizza Rats, let's not kid ourselves here, chat, an absolutely phenomenal caster on your team, or at least pretty dang good. If this video helps you out, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, etc. All of these would really help me out as we try to get to 10k subs by the end of the year, and I really think we can do it. Alright, now that we've gone ahead and done the standard spiel, let's talk about what Daikokuten can do for you. They come equipped with 2 quick, 2 arts, and 1 buster card with an AoE quick noble phantasm. That's right, Scotty isn't done yet, and Summer Scotty is just around the corner. Taking a gander at their stats, they are basically pretty average for a 4-star caster if I do say so myself. Some solid HP and some solid attack. I do quite like their NP per hit. I think it functions really well with their quick cards. I think you're going to be able to quick loop with this character pretty consistently. Their star absorption, of course, is a little on the lower end. Makes sense, they are a caster, but that really doesn't necessarily matter as much as it normally would. Because they are so quick focused, you are going to be generating enough critical stars between them, between Scotty, between everything available to you in order to loop that Noble Phantasm and be able to crit to then loop that Noble Phantasm yet again. Daikokuten's first skill is Virtuous Service, rank A. This increases their quick card effectiveness by 20 to 30%, gives them 5 to 10 critical stars every turn for 3 turns, and restores their HP every turn. 500 to 1000 is what you're going to get. And I'm sorry, did I just say them? I meant all of your allies, so it's even better than that. We are definitely going to want that quick card effectiveness boost and those extra critical stars in the event our card draws do not go as planned. Go ahead and max this skill second, because their next skill, well, it does that thing that you really want all of your looping characters to do. That second skill is For All Living Things, rank A. This is a 20 to 30% NP steroid, and it also increases each ally's Noble Phantasm gauge every turn by another 5 to 10% for 3 turns. So not only are your Scotties going to be getting some Noble Phantasms so they can use their party-wide evade, but Daikokuten, if they happen to just barely miss the mark, well, this is going to go ahead and charge their NP gauge a little extra to try to ensure that you can loop. This is pretty great. I would absolutely recommend maxing this first. This is going to be absolutely pivotal for your Daikokuten's looping capabilities. And their final skill is Country of Mice, rank B. This gives all allies a one-time evasion, pretty neat, but most importantly for Daikokuten, increases everyone's NP gain by another 20 to 30%. So already I thought their NP gain was pretty dang good because of the innate stats, but between that second skill and this final skill here, Country of Mice, you are going to see a very easily refundable servant when it comes to quick looping. You can go ahead and max this last though, mainly because the 20 to 30%, while it's a nice boost, getting boost to those other stats from those other skills is going to be overall more important for you. Now let's look at Appends. Extra attack boost, always good. Always super good, especially on a servant that we are going to want to generate crit stars from their quick cards in order to continue critting and looping. 30 to 50%, great, super good. Not really much more I need to say there. Low magical energy, hey, good on everyone. Daikokuten continues to be no exception. Plus, considering the second skill gets you an immediate 30%, with low magical energy maxed out, you are looking at a 50% starting NP gauge just from skills. So you're going to be able to easily use some 50% Noble Phantasm starting charge CEs and get a bevy of benefits from those. You won't just be locked in to the Kaleidoscope, though it might not be a bad idea. And now, of course, let's take a look at that thing you're going to be seeing a lot with Daikokuten. That's right, it's the Noble Phantasm.
猫が鳴いたらどうしましょう。明かりを消してしまいましょう。ご来園ありがとうございました。足元に気をつけて。
And that is called Nezumi Johto Rank A. This decreases the quick resist of all enemies by 20% for one turn, and before you even ask, yes, it activates before the damage is dealt. Every enemy is going to take 600 to 1000% damage, and all of your allies, including Daikokuten, are going to get a 20% critical strength boost for 3 turns. And yes, this does stack. So if you're able to loop this Noble Phantasm, well, you're going to get a pretty hefty critical damage bonus on Daikokuten. This has no rechargeability, dealing super effective damage to Earth attribute enemies, unless you are specifically looking up what the enemies are going to have as their attributes, which, JP, getting that. Good idea. Should have been in the game from the beginning, but I'm not going to complain about that on this video right now. This can be super good against Earth attribute enemies, but yeah, the other stuff is more important. Let's be honest. As with every single character in the game, it seems like, NP1 to NP2 is going to be the biggest damage boost, so if you're looking to mathematically maximize your Noble Phantasm gains and get the biggest singular boost from NP copies, 1 to 2 is what's going to get you there. Let's talk allies. I already said it. I don't even know why I'm saying it again, but we have to do it for the chapter feature of YouTube. That's right, Skahawk Scotty is going to be your best bet. She is going to grant you some nice defense reduction on your enemies, she's going to grant you that quick card boost, and she's going to grant you an NP steroid. Now, Skahawk Scotty Summer is also a noticeable mention, because Daikokuten doesn't lean too much into the Buster cards. Some might argue, that Skahawk Scotty is going to be better than Skahawk Scotty Summer, but either way, either of these characters, I would say, are going to be very, very good to pair with Daikokuten. I honestly think the difference is negligible. Let's talk craft essences, and thankfully Daikokuten has a bevy of freebie options that work very, very well with them. Holy Night Supper, for you old FGO vets like me who've been playing since day one, this thing absolutely rules. 500 to 2000 attack stat, grants you a starting 30 to 50% NP gauge, a critical damage boost, and a Noble Phantasm damage boost. Stacks very nicely with everything Daikokuten wants to do. For the newer players, don't worry, if you don't have this, there is another very good option that we see pop up in support review all the time, and that is Traces of Christmas's Past. All stat boosts firmly into attack, quick card effectiveness, NP gain, and a starting NP gauge. All of these, again, very, very good with what Daikokuten wants to do. And for the most recent players, if you don't have either of those, Star's Day is Off can be solid. This, of course, has a split stat. You get some HP, you get some attack, so it's not as effective when it comes to damage, but this grants quick card effectiveness, arts card effectiveness, NP strength, and a starting NP gauge. Since quick and arts are most of Daikokuten's cards, you'll probably enjoy this. And if you're feeling really spicy, really confident in your ability to immediately get that 100% Noble Phantasm and retain it through every single wave, you can just go ahead and chuck a Black Grail on Daikokuten. But you gotta be confident that you can reach that. Though you don't need me telling you that. You know if you're able to reach that. Or you have an NP5 Daikokuten. Either or. And finally, command codes. Let's start with the quick cards. Since they are Daikokuten's primary damaging card, we want star absorption on those whenever possible. We want our stars to flow directly back into our quick cards so they can then generate more stars and generate Noble Phantasm and deal more damage, and then following next turn, if we end up getting our quick cards again, we can generate more stars and deal more damage in a beautiful green card spanning Rube Goldberg machine. So the one that carries fortune is going to be what we're going to want to go with. This is going to be a 100% critical star absorption on only your quick cards, but of course we do have other options available to us beyond that. You can go ahead and give them something like Lady Justice. This is a star absorption boost that also grants critical stars. That can be super duper nice. Or you can end up giving them something like the recent Tale of Rain and Stars. This is star absorption and an NP generation rate boost. So you're able to go ahead and charge a little bit of that Noble Phantasm off of that. When it comes to the arts cards, I don't want any of your stars to go to those. So let's just go ahead and focus on using our arts cards to sort of cleanse any debuffs that may end up affecting Daikokuten. Of course, White Vessel's Command Seal is the premier option for this. You can go ahead with Code Cure if you want a less expensive option. And when it comes to that Buster card, if you're feeling spicy and you want to go ahead and maximize your Daikokuten, consider some sort of Noble Phantasm damage over on that. You can go ahead and give something like Empress of the Hanging Gardens. This grants 10% NP damage and a few critical stars. Make sure you end up using your Buster card before you use that Noble Phantasm. It's very, very important. And there is also, of course, the classic Da Vinci Chan, which deserves mentioning because, come on, it's Da Vinci Chan. It is like the main one. It's the one we always want to mention. If you don't want to go ahead and sink into NP damage, you can also just go ahead and give that Buster card pure critical damage, because Daikokuten's going to have enough stars. They've got their own built-in critical damage boost, so maybe give them something like Code Burst or whatever critical damage code you are willing to part with to maximize that Buster card damage. Overall, gang, Daikokuten's neat. I really, really like the way this servant is designed. I think they're probably one of my favorite designs that Rio's ever done, directly below Mary Awning. I really, really like 1-star Mary. But when it comes to Daikokuten in general, there are of course a couple of things working against them. We've already got a ton of quick farmers, so a lot of people might not necessarily need this servant. And being a caster, there's of course that hidden 0.9 times attack stat. That is the bane of a lot of people's existence when it comes to farming casters, because it gives them a little less damage. However, if you really like this servant, if you're willing to invest the materials, invest the time, and you've got a Skahawk Scotty supporting, you can have your Daikokuten become a fairly formidable farmer. Might you necessarily need to rely on things like enemy weaknesses? Maybe, if you haven't gotten all of their skills to, 10, 10, 10 and all of that stuff. But I feel like more often than not, you are going to find a very solid farmer in Daikokuten. I think this is a pretty dang good servant, even if they're not the best. But of course, I want to know what you all think. Let me know your thoughts on Daikokuten down in the comments section below. Let me know if you think there are any allies, craft essences, or command codes I might have missed. And let me know if you think they were your favorite servant from the overall recent Mississippi Mythologizers event. I feel like Daikokuten and Mary Anning really stole the show. The last servant we've got to do a video on, who I yet will not name, but all know who it is. I feel like not great in that event. But, of course, that's just my opinion. As you head down to vent your opinion in the comments, be sure to check out the Discord, Patreon, and Ko-fi. Huge thanks to everyone on all of those platforms for their support, and a massive thanks to you for watching the video to the very end. I really appreciate that, and you have no idea how much that helps. But anyways, gang, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day, and I will see you all in the next one.